So today we will start with the second part of this introductory exposition, the numerical quadrature. We have discussed about polynomial interpolation, and we will come back to these concepts of interpolation when we start with our finite element approximation construction, and then we will use these concepts. And similarly, during the formulation of finite element model, we will also need uh, to integrate certain definite integrals. And you may be aware that definite integral evaluation in the on a digital computer is eventually achieved by using what is known as numerical quadrature schemes. The word numerical quadrature may not be possibly familiar, you may not be familiar with this term numerical quadrature, but maybe you are familiar with the specific rules. Uh, for example, the rectangle rule or Gaussian rectangle rule, or a trapezoidal rule, or Simpson rule, and so on. Newton codes, formulas, etc. So, computing the area under the curves, and that is what that's a standard part of the syllabus of engineering mathematics that is taught in your all undergrad programs. So I'm sure all of you must have had some exposure to these numerical quadrature schemes. So shouldn't be very difficult to relate with what we are going to discuss today. There are regarding interpolation, there are several other interpolations. Uh, refinements that we can possibly do instead of. Next step of with respect to p-chip, that is, we construct approximation over individual data segments. Another way to do that, instead of cubic Hermite interpolation, if we try to impose a higher degree of smoothness, then we can also look for a cubic spline fit. And cubic splines is something that you may be familiar with uh, in your engineering graphics course. Does anybody know what is a cubic spline? Or does anyone know what is a spline?
Curve fitting type.
Curve fitting, it is spline used in AutoCAD.
Okay, and how do you? That's fine. That's a uh, smooth curve through certain number of points. So AutoCAD, you just drag mouse on the point and it fits the curve, I guess. But uh, more than that, have you ever seen a spline curve?
No, sir.
Uh,
Sir, in gear, a spline is used.
Pardon?
Gear.
Gears. Huh. Okay. Ever heard of the term French curves?
No, sir.
Okay. Have you ever? How did you do your engineering graphics course? Did you draw by hand, or it was all AutoCAD?
Yes, I heard about French curve. I know.
Have you ever looked at a set of set squares?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes.
Do you recall there are certain, very weird kind of curve shapes in the middle of those set squares?
Yes.
So what did you think those are? Are those for
Splines.
holding the set square or what?
Splines, sir.
Yes,
Maybe
yes.
splines.
Yes, those are actually a set of splines, and the idea is when you uh, have those points on your sheet, and those points have to be joined by a smooth curve, then you just try to move those lines and see where they fit in, and you just draw the curve on through those points. And actually, set squares only give you three or four curves to choose from. There are, I think, 52 or 53 such complete set of spline curves. There are actually 53 or 52 of them. And using them, you can find them in any draftsman toolkit. I don't know if they still have it. Drawing by hand is almost a vanishing art now. So, so there can be different degrees of splines. So first degree spline is just the straight line, fitting a straight line between 2 points. That is also a spline. So that is a first degree spline. And similarly, you can have second degree and third degree. Cubic splines are uh, most popular spline curves, and because of their visually aesthetic appeal, and it is achieved. For cubic Hermite interpolation, if you recall, we had insisted about the continuity between the function value and the first derivative of the function. So these provided the total number of four conditions to fit a cubic polynomial. So the interpolation, the model required continuity of the function value as well as the gradient value, derivative value at the nodes of interpolation. So what we call as nodes in the theory of interpolation, in spline terminology, those are called knots. So in cubic spline, we go one order further. So we insist on not only the continuity of the function value and the first derivative, but we also insist on continuity of the second derivative. So that way it gives even a smoother appearance than piecewise cubic Hermite interpolation or PG. So you can look at the theory of cubic splines, and it may be useful in certain contexts, and it's not that difficult. If you understand the basic interpolation theory, then cubic spline theory is very easy to pick up. So I will not get into the details of cubic spline. If you are interested, you can read more about it from my book, or from these slides, or any other source. There are many uh, texts around which discuss the cubic spline theory. But for our purposes, for the purpose of finite element method, uh, we will not require anything more than Hermite interpolation. So I will not get into this spline business. And therefore we move on to the next topic of our discussion, preliminary discussion, that is numerical quadrature. So the numerical quadrature is essentially an approximate evaluation of definite integrals on digital computers. So for simplicity, I am taking just the function of one variable. So integration of a function of one variable within in the range a to b. So definite integral I, we need to evaluate this function, integral of this function f of x in the range of a to b, and we approximate it. So this integral is essentially accumulation, and so we approximate it by accumulation of the weighted sum of these function values, right? So we sample this function f of x at a certain number of points between this range a to b, and for each sampling point there is a weighting coefficient associated with it to scale that function value, and then we just accumulate this weighted sum of function values between all points xi, I mean whatever sampling points are there, in the range of a to b. So you might recall, I mean, let's just look at two very common and which all of you can relate with uh, examples. We will see that soon. So the objective of this approximation is to compute the weighted sum. This weighted sum that we have, wi is the weighting coefficient, and f of xi is the sampling, I mean the value of this function evaluated